Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Real quick update video today. I know because we just did one, right? They rolled back the patch. That's right. The big patch we just got that made a bunch of changes and had to view patch notes and took me a 30-minute video to get up through everything. That has now been undone. There are a couple of details though. We'll get into them and we'll get you guys on your way. Okay, so here's the tweet. Came out this morning. They're rolling back to the previous version, which means they're undoing everything, or at least that's how I read it. I guess they could leave some stuff in there. Maybe there's some small tweaks. They did leave snow. Obviously, that's kind of a big deal. That tells me that snow isn't really part of the patch, but something more dynamic that they can do, I guess, that they didn't consider it part of the patch and they left everything green. So as far as performance is concerned, I don't know. I ran a couple offline raids. I haven't gone online yet, so I can't speak to performance issues, but I'm hoping that it didn't have anything to do with snow. It had to do with something else and we can play. So that means the two main bugs we were seeing was just terrible frames on Shoreline and Streets for sure, but I think there was other maps. Like I had a point where I was looking one direction on Shoreline and I had like 145 frames or 150 frames or something crazy, and if I turned and looked another direction, it dropped to like 65. So yeah, big problem there. And the other one was the awaiting session start bug for scavs was back. Some people weren't able to scav at all. They couldn't get it. They tried like 10 times and couldn't get into a scav raid all day. So both of those hopefully have been corrected by them reverting the patch. Now, an interesting thing they talk about in here, it says, after the patch installation, critical issues and bugs were discovered, leading to this decision. The content of patch 14.1 will be released in the future updates after adjustments with consideration of community feedback. This tells me things like pistol recoil, SKS recoil, maybe the shotgun stuff, though I don't think there was anything bad with the shotgun stuff. That they're probably going to tweak that some more. Good thing, because it doesn't seem like anybody liked the changes really. I don't want to say anybody, there's always somebody, but it didn't seem like overall the community liked the changes very much, as well as the armor stuff. We did find some interesting things with the armor that I've already passed along to BSG. It's undone, so it doesn't really matter talking about it right now. We'll just have to wait and see when we get patch 14.1 back again. One little housekeeping thing that I like to do, and I'll point out to you guys, it's optional, you don't have to do this, but I feel like it does help with performance sometimes, is first to delete your logs. Come in here, mine have already been deleted. Just on your launcher, game settings, go to logs, opens up this folder, delete these. You can delete all of them if you want, you can save the last two. It depends on how many you play a day, right? If you play one raid a day, save your last like 3 days worth of logs. If you play 15 raids a day, probably 1 day's worth of logs is all you need. But delete these out, get rid of them. It can cause performance issues on some people's machines. Not everybody's, but it also takes up hard drive space, so clear them out and get that. And the other thing I do is I clear my cache, which is also right here. I'm not gonna do it again because I don't want to go reload everything. And what that does, kind of resets stuff. And if you have some busted icons, it'll fix those. You just got to reload all your icons like you do after a patch. So when you clear your cache, that's what happens here, where you got to load all these images. That's all it is. So don't sweat it too much if you don't do it. It's just something personal I do, house cleaning stuff, if you will. Aside from that, not much else. They didn't roll back progress. Everything is where you had it, so don't freak out about that. Quests and all that stuff still progressed. I was exactly where I logged off last night before the patch as far as stash and money and progress and stuff. So that is where we are. Just like I said, quick video, we'll wrap her up there. Thank you guys for watching. I always appreciate having you here. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you like the content and you want to see more of it. And throw a comment down below. All three of those help me out a ton and they don't cost you a thing. So with that, I'll wrap it up. Wish you guys the best of luck in your raids, and we'll see you in Tarkov.